Hey everyone, my name is Courtney and welcome back to my channel. We are starting another weekly reading vlog. This is the last one for the month of July, and it's actually very satisfying feeling to me because I start these vlogs on Monday. Today is Monday, and I film them until Sunday so that way I can put them up on like Monday or Tuesday. And the end of the month this month is on the Sunday. We're gonna cover the entirety of July and hopefully make at least one bingo line on the Summer Splash read along bingo sheet. Last night I did not film it, but I finished reading The Employees by Olga Raven. This was for the branching out square of reading a book from a genre that you don't read a lot from, and I do not read a lot of sci-fi, and so this seemed like a good way to dip my toes in. It's an extremely short novella basically, and I ended up reading it in about 2.5 hours last night. Took me a second to get into it because there aren't any easily defined characters. You're not really latching on to somebody to get to the story. But once you get into the flow of it, there are so many interesting reveals and twists, and the buildup is just so satisfying. Each page is like a statement from an employee aboard the 6000 ship. It is a spaceship. They have just picked up these objects from this like land of new discovery, and this committee for the company that they work for is conducting these interviews with the employees to see what the reaction to these objects is. The spaceship is made up of human and humanoid employees. So some people are completely human, some people are artificial intelligence, but some might have human parts, and you can't always tell who is a human and who isn't. Sometimes you'll be reading a statement and it's revealed kind of right at the end that they're not a human, or vice versa, and that just makes it super fun to read. You start to see how these non-human creatures start to build attachments to these objects. They're placed in this caretaking role. Some of the employees are very repulsed by the objects, they're scared of them. Others are really drawn to them and want to take care of them or touch them. And there's also just a lot of skepticism towards this committee that's conducting these interviews. The non-human employees have really started building this awareness that they are not fully human. They could start to tell the difference between themselves and their human counterparts. Super interesting. I would say that this is like if Westworld and Severance had a little baby, and it was a super short novella. Definitely not something that I'm used to reading, but I loved it. It was a 4-star read for me. I think I took a single star off just because it did take me a second to find my footing. Some things still weren't that clear to me, and that does fill in that square. So today we have to decide on a new book, and here are my options. We have Dinner by Cesar Ayera. This is another super short novella. I think it's a horror. It is more of like a zombie story. I had pulled this little tiny book to cover the something translated category, as well as a book to read outside. Just because it's short, I felt like this could be one that I sit outside and read for a little while. This is a contender. I know I also just read Book Lovers, but I did get Beach Read by Emily Henry. Would love to read this. I think this could cover the category for a book that takes place during the summer. So this could just be the July of Emily Henry. Right now, I'm really looking for stuff that's easy to digest, fun to read. I don't need anything else clogging my mind as we prepare for this move. Beach Read is a strong contender. And I also have She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. There is a prompt for a book that has a body of water on the cover. This obviously does. I haven't read this book in so long, and it is one that I've been wanting to revisit. It is a chunky boy though, so We'll see. I would really like to read it, but since it is one that I've read before, I was really hoping to do a rereading favorites video for that. I just don't think I have the time to create a whole special video around it, similar to how I did for Just Kids. I am also still wanting to read Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain. This could be an August read. I've been looking at the summer splash squares to see what prompts this could fill, and I was contemplating reading it outside, but it is a lot longer than dinner, so I don't know. I'm gonna figure out what I'm going to read here. I have a couple more hours of work to do. My husband just went to the post office to start our address change, so we can get that taken care of. I am hoping to do some reading in the car this week. On Saturday, we're going to Detroit so we can see our house now that we officially have the keys. At the end of this vlog, there should be a empty house walkthrough for you guys. It'll be a very busy week, primarily dedicated to reading and packing. See you guys tomorrow. Happy Tuesday. If you hear any weird noises in the background, we've got Wolf playing over here. Last night we did so much packing. I'm so tired today. We pretty much packed up our entire office. So we cleared out the closet in there, packed up the desk and everything that was in there. All of my craft supplies pretty much are all packed up. So we made a lot of progress, but it was definitely kind of exhausting. Last night, you have also seen that I decided to start reading Beach Read by Emily Henry. I wasn't planning on reading 2 Emily Henry books this month, but it really just called to me. I only got about 30 pages in. We're following January. She is a romance novelist who has always really romanticized her life and has seen things through like rose-colored glasses. And then her father died. After he dies, she finds out that he had a mistress, almost like a double life, and that he also had a lake house that he has left to her. This is really hard for her to come to grips with because she always really admired her parents' relationship, and now that her father's died, she sort of finds out that it wasn't what she had originally thought it was. She's just hoping that maybe she can sell this lake house, write her book that is long overdue, and then use the money from selling her book and the lake house to get back on her feet. As she's staying at this beach house, she finds out that her neighbor is Augustus, who was in college with her and was one of her rivals. She writes these fluffy romance books. She really likes writing the fluffy romance books. I really like there's like a comment made in here about how she's really unashamed of it and how she can't stand being around literary people because inevitably they will ask her if she actually likes writing romance. Or Augustus is more of like the pretentious literary type and has become her like nemesis, unbeknownst to him, as he sails ahead of her in like bestsellers lists and things like that. I've only gotten to the point where she just realizes that it's him. I don't think any of this is spoilers. It's all pretty much like on the back of the book. I am seeing the similarities between Book Lovers and now Beach Read. The two of them so far has this very small town location. This book takes place on the west side of Michigan. We already have charming coffee shop, the charming bookstore, similar to Book Lovers. So I am hoping that there are some like deviations here, but I did love Book Lovers. So like if it's very similar, I don't think I'll mind all that much. Now we're in pursuit of a baby, but excited to read some more of that later. Since we packed so much yesterday, I am hoping that maybe tonight we'll take a little bit of a break, do some reading, and edit what I've got on this vlog so far. Beach read I think will be a pretty quick one this week, and then we'll be moving right on to the next one. Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I'm catching up on some YouTube, watching Jordaline's latest video, I think, or her 5-star predictions video from a few days ago. And you'll have noticed yesterday I didn't have much B-roll, probably like 5 seconds of me reading last night. And I probably won't even bother putting it to music because it's so little. But yesterday was just one of those days where I really felt like my mental health was hanging on by like a piece of single-ply toilet paper. I just like had a really hard time getting it together yesterday, and I think other parents will understand, especially like when your baby's sleep schedule is off. It just throws everything else off, and it's just so frustrating to me on some days, like if he doesn't nap when he usually does, or I'm trying to do meetings but keep an eye on him, and very stressful. So I just really focused on taking it easy yesterday, and then we ordered Indian food, and I ended up reading about 40 pages yesterday. So I'm like page 80, kind of moving slowly through this one, but I do also really like it. I think with Emily Henry, my expectations were not super far up there because I know she's really popular on TikTok. And, you know, some of those books are a win, some of them, like From Lukov with Love, not so much. See like the formula that she kind of follows, or what interests her in these like romantic sort of stories, because there are a lot of similarities between this and Book Lovers, like I was saying yesterday. But there's just something about her writing that I am so charmed by her characters. Augustus, he's very serious, but we're starting to see that more charming side of him. And we have January starting to open up a little bit more. And there are just some moments that are really laugh out loud funny in here. Their banter back and forth, they're so quippy and like very quick witted, and just like when they start insulting each other, it's very funny. So I think this is going to be probably another 4-star. That's going to be my prediction. It does remain to be seen how her books age in my mind for me, because I'm really enjoying them now. I think I'm reading them at the right time in my life. I don't need anything tense or scary right now, or long and complicated. I'm just really looking for those fun, easy to digest books. These definitely fit the bill. Will they be that memorable to me? Am I going to be thinking about them years from now? As it stands now, I'm definitely borrowing this one to my mom as well. Definitely books that I would recommend, but I'm not sure that they would go down in my all-time favorites. I don't think we have much planned for today. We have to do some grocery shopping for sure, or like our refrigerator's looking kind of bare. With our move coming up the next month, I'm almost feeling like I'm in vacation mode or something. Like, it's a hard time getting motivated. It's a hard time wanting to like fill my fridge and pantry with stuff, knowing we're going to be moving. So because of that, we haven't really been eating the best. It's like a lot of takeout, fast food. So I think that I want to try and find like a healthy-ish recipe, eat a vegetable for once, and maybe that will help this like really unhinged mental status that I'm in right now. Besides that, we don't have any other plans, so hopefully my B-roll is maybe a little bit more exciting today, but I'm not making any promises. Once again, you'll have just seen clips from Wednesday and Thursday. I ended up not filming an update yesterday because I didn't really have one, and I was just in full like bum mode and didn't want to show my face on camera. But Wednesday, my brother FaceTimed us from our house. He got the keys for us since he only lives a few minutes away, and was showing us everything that like the previous owners left behind for us, like quality, useful stuff. So thank you to them. Just got us really excited to get into the house this weekend and start doing stuff in there. Yesterday, we just took a little walk to get Italian ice. Saw a really cute little free library, which you have seen too. It's like the cutest one I've seen, I think. We did some grocery shopping, like nothing super exciting, but I did get to page 230 in Beach Read. I am still really liking it. When I want to read a romance, this is exactly what I want. We have fully thought out characters with several interests, friends, subplots to get invested in. This was the same in Book Lovers too, but Emily Henry is doing a really great job where the romance isn't the only focus. Both characters have things going on that makes the romance maybe a little inconvenient or a little challenging. In that process, you really get to care for the characters. Gus and January are starting to get to know each other a little bit better, and they have decided to write books in each other's genre since they're both facing a little bit of writer's block. So January has challenged Gus to write a romance novel, and therefore January has to write a more literary fiction novel. And every weekend they are taking each other on dates to introduce them to the process. Gus has been interviewing members of a suicide cult to understand what makes people stay in these toxic relationships. He has a lot of baggage that is related to this. So that is how they get in that literary vibe, showing how he does research. And then January has been taking him on dates that are very cute, like to a carnival, just those things that really fuel rom-com. So I'm really enjoying it. If you have romances that you've read that are similar to Emily Henry, where they are a little bit more slow burn, but really well written and detailed and with very lovable characters, please leave them in the comments below, because this is exactly my brand of romance. This morning, I also started making a playlist inspired by Beach Read, and this crosses off the Pass the Aux box on the Summer Splash Readathon bingo sheet. I was really trying to capture poppy, love inspired attitude of January, but also her sadness and the sort of grief that she's going through right now. Augustus, I really envision him being kind of emo, a little moody, really into things like Joy Division, like those 80s sort of moody vibe, and also just afraid of love, but then alternatively feeling charmed by January and starting to feel those little sparks of emotions for her. I will try to link it down below if you are curious to listen to it. We leave for Detroit tomorrow. I am hoping to make another big dent in Beach Read so I can try and squeeze in one more of maybe the shorter books that I have picked out. And yeah, you guys will be seeing our house at the end of this vlog. I can't wait to show everybody what it's going to look like. And I'm just really excited to get settled in and unpack my books. I have some ideas for more themed videos. October is coming up, so we're gonna have lots of spooky reads. Leave a comment down below. Do you prefer to follow channels that only read specific genres? Do you like the mix of different genres that I read? Just curious. That is all I've got for now. I am going to do a couple more hours of work, and then I'm hoping to do some more reading today before we get into packing mode for our trip tomorrow. I will see you guys then. Bye. update for you. Last night I ended up finishing Beach Read. I also gave this one 4 stars, like book lovers. I really enjoyed this, and for real, like if you have any other romance recommendations that are similar to Emily Henry, please let me know. I think I liked Book Lovers just a little teeny tiny bit more, and that is only because our main character, January, she is something of a hopeless romantic, and so she is a little cheesy sometimes. She goes on these very corny monologues, inner and outer, and that's not always my bag. But besides that, I did really enjoy reading this. I can't wait to read People We Meet on Vacation now, and I am just so pleasantly surprised. I just really like how her characters feel very real. Typically in a romance, or at least the romances that I've read, we get to the end, it seems like they're a guaranteed thing, and then some silly miscommunication happens, which is sometimes completely out of character from what we've known so far. And this miscommunication happens that completely derails the whole thing, and then you have to read through the will they, won't they, brooding sort of moment. And then of course they end up together. And in Book Lovers and Beach Read, we have these really romantic moments, these really steamy moments, and they're really like the will they, won't they-ness of it really lasts until the end, and it's not some silly miscommunication or misunderstanding that is what keeps them apart. It's like real life stuff. So I'm thrilled to have liked another one, and that closes off the square for a book that takes place entirely in the summer. Technically, there is like a little bit of a moment from the winter, but we're just going to ignore that. It's like a blip. So we're going to say that it's a summer book. After I finished Beach Read, I started Dinner by Caesar Ayera, and we're off to a slow start. This book is only 100 pages, so this will definitely hit the box for a short book and one that is translated. And I was originally going to read this outside, but it is tough just because our back porch is right off of Wolf's bedroom. I'm not sure that reading outside is going to happen for me much this month, but I was able to start this. I got about 12 pages in. We have an older man, I think he's in his 60s, and he is at dinner with a friend of his, and his mother has come along. He really likes his friend, but even though he's wealthy and has all of these things, he's a terrible conversationalist, and his mother is very elderly, and so her conversation is not very good either, but somehow his friend and his mother are compatible, and they just start listing off people that they know from their hometown and these places, and this seems to be the only thing that really sparks his mother's memory and keeps her engaged. And meanwhile, he doesn't remember these people, he doesn't care about these people, so it's very boring conversation for him. Currently, his friend is showing off his wind-up toy collection. He has this weird toy that seems French made, and it's like a hospital room scene, and we've got all these weird movements, and that's all we've got so far. We've got a guy at a boring dinner looking at his friend's toys. I'm hoping that it gets moving soon and that we get to the zombies. I am going to get some last minute things together. We're packing for leaving for Detroit today. My husband's only working a couple more hours. Wolf is napping, so I'm going to get these things together and try to get some reading done. Since Pete went to work so early this morning, I think I'm going to be the one ending up driving today. I'm going to bring it along, and if we have any quiet moments at the house, I will be trying to finish this by the end of the month. I will see you guys all in Detroit. To do a quick walkthrough of the house. Today is technically Monday, August 1st. I do not think I got a bingo on the summer splash readathon, but that is okay. I still had a lot of fun reading and getting lots of things read this month. I think I ended up finishing 6 books. So we will get final thoughts and counts and everything during my wrap up. I, of course, have not had a single second to read while we've been here. We've just been nonstop working on the house, like cleaning, just hanging out with family since my brother lives 5 minutes away. My cousin lives about 20 minutes away. Got to spend a lot of time with them yesterday, so that was great. Here is our front door. This is one of my favorite things about the house, this little cutout here. And then this goes into like the kitchen and living room. Have a camping bed here that our dog was sleeping on. Some toys for Wolf. You can see where we have to do some sanding here. Love these big open bay windows. I'm trying to figure out how to style the room because the previous owners had their couch here and then their TV here. But I would just love to put some cushions or like a bench here. It would be so fun for reading or for Wolf to sit there. So we're gonna see. Then we have our little like dining area breakfast nook here that we'll be setting up. And then the kitchen obviously was like a huge selling point of the house. As soon as I saw it in pictures, I was like, yes. We have nice counters, lots of storage space, a lot more than we have at our apartment now. And it's very nice and bright in here. Right now, our apartment is laid out in like a typical Chicago 3-flat style. So the living room is all the way to the front of the apartment and the kitchen is all the way to the back. So it really stinks if Peter and Wolf are hanging out in the living room. I'm all the way back in the kitchen. I can't see them. And, if I want to distract Wolf with the TV or something, I can't really do that and keep an eye on him while I prepare food. So I am very excited for this situation to be hanging out on the counter here, making his lunch, and he'll be right here and I can keep an eye on everything. Coming into the first room here, this is going to be our library, which I am so excited about. We're going to have our desk in here, all of our bookshelves. Sorry if this area looks weird. I have the camera on 0.5 so I can show as much as possible. Got cute little cabinets here for more storage. Bathroom looks like a bathroom. Really like the recessed lighting. They actually left behind these hanging shelves, which was nice because we were actually gonna go and buy the same ones because we really like them. We're gonna have a bathtub finally, can't wait. Most of the rooms are going to be repainted. This will be Wolf's room. I'm going to be doing like a 70s stripe style mural in here, so I can't wait for that. You could tell that we were camping out here last night. This is going to be our room, much bigger than our room at home. I love that. And then if we come back through the kitchen, we can go down the stairs here and we go to the basement. We have some big high hopes for the basement here. We have all of our cleaning supplies out because I was on a spree yesterday. Over here is where we're hopefully going to be setting up a TV and a couch and watch a lot of movies down here and sort of turn it into like a home theater sort of vibe. We've got like our cool Vincent Price poster that'll go down here. And I would definitely like to have more of a horror movie, cozy vibe down here. Like if I can come down here and feel like it's fall all the time and we just want to cuddle up with some horror movies, that would be ideal. We've got a creepy little bathroom in here. I do not know what to do with this, so it's like the tiniest shower, kind of freaky. Having a bar in the basement is a very Midwestern thing, and it was something that was very essential for us. When we were house hunting, we needed to have a bar in the basement. We're gonna be finishing this somehow. Don't know anything about that, but I got the nice cutout shelves here. And we also have a library cart in our dining room that we've been using as our bar cart now, which we'll probably do that here as well. Back here is just like the furnace and water heater and stuff. This is going to be like my little crafting zone. So I plan on setting up my Cricut down here, my sewing machine, all of my knitting and yarn supply. Can't wait. Right now, all of my crafting stuff is just in our library. So it's really exciting that we're going to have spaces for everything to go. And then back here, we're not even going to adventure because it's creepy, as you could tell. Basically just laundry, a weird concrete like cellar that has very strange vibes. And that is it. That is our house tour. We're super excited to move in a couple of weeks, and I think it won't take long for it to feel like home at all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you're new here, please subscribe. August might be a little quiet for me because we're gonna be in the process of moving, but once we get moved, I got some super fun videos planned, and it's going to be a great time. Like this video, comment down below, how did Summer Splash Readathon go for you? Leave behind any of your tips and tricks for making creepy basement bathrooms less creepy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!